It's an ongoing concern that Indigenous Australians are overrepresented in prisons right around the country. Aborigines make up around 2% of Australia's population, but number 25% of prison inmates. And few ever aim to become police officers. To address this imbalance, a training program's been deployed in New South Wales to put Aboriginal students from regional towns on the path to a police career. Kirsten Murray reports.
As soon as we got the call to form up, your body just straight, your chest poked out, you'd be proud. You started marching slowly along with the drums. When you throw that hat up in the air, you launched it because pride, that's what you're feeling that day.
Achieving the title of probationary constable takes sacrifice, commitment and hard work. But for some, there can be added obstacles to overcome.
I'm the first person in my family to become a police officer, first sibling of my mum's to graduate high school, the first person to go to university in my family. No one in my family had achieved anything like I have so far.
Joshua Sharkey's one of a handful of Aboriginal officers now serving on the front line. But the 20-year-old says it was an unusual career choice for someone like him to make.
I grew up in a neighbourhood, mostly housing commission. I didn't know many Corey coppers. I didn't know any. The mentality down in my area was, if a copper comes, you're going to get arrested.
There's a similar attitude in many Aboriginal communities, where the local force is mostly white and from out of town. The tension that creates plays out day after day.
Now, I've made you aware that this is a public restricted area, okay?
Witnessing what can happen when relations break down led Peter Gibbs to devote the past 14 years to campaign for change. In his eyes, the problem's obvious.
If we had a significant Aboriginal population there, why don't we have a significant part of the police force Aboriginal as well?
Back in 1987, Peter Gibbs was living in the outback New South Wales town of Brewarrina when the death in custody of Lloyd Boney sparked a riot.
Put it down, I'll fight you now. Put it back now, come here, boy.
Sadly, it seems not enough was learnt from the Royal Commission into Aboriginal deaths in custody that followed. Just 10 years later, another Aborigine would die in a cell here. It was Peter Gibbs' sister.
Remember the phone call? They said there's been an incident at the Brewarrina police station and your sister's on life support. The shock that for me was something I'll never be able to forget.
The day Fiona Gibbs was laid to rest was the day her family made a life-changing decision.
We were asked whether we really wanted to take on the police that night and to start a riot. And all we had to do was give the order. And my dad and I stood shoulder to shoulder and informing the people that's not what we want from Fiona's death. And we made a commitment then that we would get a positive out of her tragedy.
All right, good morning everyone.
This is the legacy of Fiona Gibbs, a classroom full of Aboriginal students training to become police officers.
I haven't given up on Peter Gibbs's original suggestion that the only way you can really bring people out of serious disadvantage is by providing employment. And if we can produce role models of police from these communities, that is going to encourage other young people to join the police, because 53% of our juvenile justice institutions are full of young Aboriginal people, and a lot of them come from Western New South Wales, and that's a tragedy.
I've got the vision that in 20 years' time, in Western New South Wales, we'll have a police force dominated by Aboriginal people. Now, wouldn't that be something?
So you get your mobile data terminal over there.
An 18-week course run by New South Wales Police and TAFE helps students from regional communities prepare for the gruelling training of the academy.
The course is a bridging program. It's to provide the opportunity, the literacy, the academic skills that they need to have to enter the New South Wales Police training course.
All I can say is it's one big emotional roller coaster. 1 minute you can be happy and then just break down in tears.
23, 24.
I've learnt that I'm strong and that no one can tell me that I can't do anything, and that I'm going to make a really good cop, and I'm going to do it.
Some students have travelled from the most remote corners of New South Wales to be here. Others have left full-time jobs and families at home to follow their dreams.
My wife... That's a hard one. To my wife it means a lot, but it's also it gives my kids a really good future as well. And hopefully I can be a positive role model to them.
Right at the beginning of this course, you guys were given a shirt. That's your first badge. That's the first step or your first mark of being a role model, being a contributor to your community. It starts with that shirt that you're wearing, and it makes its way all the way up to this shirt and that badge there.
Inspector Troy Grant understands the positive impact that can be made from having locals police their own communities. As a junior officer, he was posted to Brewarrina 5 years after Lloyd Boney died. And with tensions still running hot, he himself became the victim of assault.
It was terrible. There was no relationship, and I think that was us and them, without question. But unless you're part of that community, you're really behind the eight ball.
Since the course began in Dubbo 3 years ago, 9 students have gone on to join the police force.
Good on you. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Aaron Cooper. And there'll be more officers to come, with every member of this class making graduation.
You've got all these emotions, sort of. You've got elation, you've got sadness. I'm certainly proud because people are making a decision for a police career. And then it sort of reinforces the decision we made that day to put our efforts into something positive.
I'm a proud Dunghutti man. I'm 29 years old.
I'm a proud Nambar woman from Burke.
I'm a proud Camilro man and a student of the first 2008 iProud program. I would like to say, Peter and Assistant Commissioner Bradshaw, that your legacy is clearly evident as 14 iProud students graduate today. Thank you very much.
The aim is for graduates to return home to serve their own towns, and that's something Joshua Sharkey's looking forward to.
I want to possibly go back as a sergeant because you can run your own station in the country town. It's where it's at. There's nothing better.
Kirsten Murray reporting.